What is going on, everyone? It's your guy Cole Jackson back here on Road Graders, brought to you today on the Russell Street Report, sponsored by D&L Tinting. Go check out dltinting.com, all one word, for all of your window tinting, headlight restoration, and car detailing needs. Thank you for sponsoring this episode. And we're going to be doing a two-part series looking at some of the backup offensive linemen for the Ravens, and basically using some of this tape that we're getting at the end of the season. Obviously, with Ben Cleveland, we got a start last week with Kevin Zeitler out, got another start this week with Zeitler resting that injury against the Steelers, and later this afternoon, we're going to take a look at Daniel Falele. So we're going to start here with Ben Cleveland, and we're going to essentially take a look, and we're a couple years into his tenure as a Raven, and there's decisions that are going to be made on the business side this summer. It's going to be, is Kevin Zeitler a guy you re-sign? Is Ben Cleveland ready to start at right guard? All those things are going to be discussed, so we're going to use the film we have to get an early look at that and kind of make our own decisions here. So I'm going to start taking a look at Ben Cleveland's pass pro, taking a look at the good and the bad, and kind of his development and where he's at. So here you're going to see something that I really wanted to focus on. It's something I noticed in his college film. Ben Cleveland is a massive man, right? Like, we're looking at 6'5", 356. And so you're going to see right here a wide hand technique. So you see those two hands go in with the bear technique. He gives up his chest, but just being so physically imposing, he's able to kind of drop his anchor. Gets a little bit more depth than you want to see, but using that wide hand technique. And that's something that I'd like him to get away from. I find when he uses low hands and attacks the inner part of the chest plate in pass pro, he does a lot better, because as you can see, as he gets engaged here, he's got the straight leg going here. He's not able to bend. He's not able to drop his anchor. So he starts to get walked back, and just the sheer strength where he refits. So right here, he's wide hand, and then you see right there, he's hand fighting. Unfortunately, the flagpole's in your way, but he gets this right hand inside, right up into the armpit. And you can see right there, his left arm is up there too, and his refit into inside hands is what's able to allow him to anchor. So something I want to see, just doing a little bit better in that, and we'll look at some reps where he gets his hands in there really well. But hand placement's probably his biggest thing, and you're going to see it right here where he's going to get lunging, and he's kind of working off a hezzy here from the offensive lineman, where he kind of comes hard to his left to the I think that's Keanu Benton. Benton comes hard to his left, Ben Cleveland's right, and then works back the other way, and Cleveland ends up reaching here and kind of gives up a little bit of pressure there at the end, and you see Falele getting beat as well on this rep, so Huntley has to scramble. So just staying square, I think he got a little, and again, you see those hands. They're going in for the wide hand technique again. So just hand placement, being consistent, continuing to move his feet as he gets into an engagement point, but when he plays with low hands, when he plays with good hand positioning, he does quite well. And see, here you go again, you're going to get another rep where this is going to be the old forearm shiver lean, but again, we're looking at hand placement, right? He needs to get a little deeper in his vertical set. You start, the defensive lineman is going to start basically as a four-tech over top of the tackle, and he's just got to get a little deeper, a little bit more of a 45-degree step to get over there before he leans. You don't want to get stuck in this position. You want to be able to, move your feet, get square, and then keep that kind of straight back that we're always taking a look at. So not a great rep there. Obviously, defender makes a play on the ball that gets tipped. But then there was a tons of good reps. So, I grabbed probably some of the worst reps that you'll see from Cleveland, not necessarily just to say he had a bad game. That's not how I feel about it. It was more that I want to show you what he still needs to work on and where his development is at. Because you're going to get reps like this, and this is where he's at his best. So, again, we have a rep similar to the one we just had just taken a look at. He's got a four-tech over top of Falele. He's got to get vertical. He does there. Defender comes inside, and Cleveland, with that inside hand, flattens out his feet. As typically you're going to work on a horizontal plane here, but keeping your right foot behind your left foot. When you hit your post step, which is your inside foot, back down, you want to get either flat or keep it up a little bit. And right here, Ben Cleveland does a great job working him laterally, keeping his feet flat, and you see there's that strong back that we want to see. Not bent over, not hunched over like that. You want to see that nice strong back. So that inside hand, it lands inside, low, and he's able to use his strength, work him laterally, win that rep pretty easily. Huntley gets an escape lane there. Gonna get another one here. See again. He's going to attack him, start over as a, this is more of a 5 tech. He's actually outside of the right tackle. He's going to come inside. Wide hands here. Wide hands. You know, the wide hands isn't necessarily always a bad thing. It's just, it limits his margin. He needs to get his hand placement inside quicker so that basically his chest plate doesn't get turned into a shield. So as the defender cuts inside, again, you see that, and you see that right here. I want you to keep an eye on his left foot. And you're going to see that quickly drop. See right there? And see what I mean by he still has his right foot back. So he's hitting that post step, keeping really good foot position. He's not getting too flattened out, or that inside foot's not dropping backwards. So just really good rep there, and absolutely stunts him. So just like I said, when he plays with low hands, when he plays where he's going to continue to get the leverage and be able to drop his anchor, things go really well for him. Typically when he's getting attacked inside, but he has had some reps where if he's getting attacked outside, it still goes well. You can kind of see it here. He's going to win that initial pop there. He gets a little leany. You can see that back leaning a little bit, but he transitions really well there after creating leverage. And then they're actually trying to work a stunt. So this guy's trying to set a pick on Moses and get the wrap here. So as he does that, Cleveland reads it really well, and then is going to pop TJ Watt when he jumps there. So really good footwork here. You see, look how quick those feet are. Quick as a hiccup. You know, picking up Watt as he came into him, working that stunt. So I thought that was a great rep from him. And then we get another one here where he's just going to lay the business here. You're going to get, I believe that's a safety actually up there over top of him, and he's going to attack. They're trying to run a stunt again. So he's trying to hit, McCurry's in here at center. He's trying to hit McCurry and allow a wrapper, but he's going to absolutely smash him and actually hit him into the guy that's supposed to be wrapping. So you get a little Ben Cleveland 2-for-1 squirrel combo right there. So that was a really good rep, playing pretty physical. And then, you know, same thing here. See how he regains that. So again, those wide hands, this is where it can benefit you as long as you're moving your feet. Good recovery there. He gets really off technique wise, but then refits, strong back. So not all bad. I would say in his pass protection, thought he did a pretty darn good job. A couple of those reps are just things I want us to keep a look at. I want to see him play more consistently with inside hands. When he hits those outside hands, he's got to refit quickly, or else he's just going to get turned into basically a blocking shield, which we saw in that one of those earlier reps, and he was able to use his sheer strength. So I just think he's going to continue to maintain positive reps if he's able to keep his hands low and inside. Get into some of his run blocking reps, and just before I get into these, he reminds me in a run blocking perspective a lot of a guy like Orlando Brown Jr. Nicknamed Zeus Jr., you know, big, 6'8", 350, absolute monster of a man, but was always more of a finesse blocker than necessarily a straight-up mauler. I feel very similar about Ben Cleveland. When he's running outside zone like we're about to take a look at, these are blocks where it's more about your positioning. You're more trying to cut guys off and create leverage points for running backs versus getting on guys and mauling them, right? And so you're going to see it here. So he's going to overtake from Morgan Moses here, and, you know, not drive blocking here, but the quickness to get out there, that's where he's doing well, and he's using his length, he's getting that outside shoulder, and the guy that was his responsibility, he ends up with his hat on the outside, which is what you want. The play's made outside of Ben Cleveland, but, you know, seeing these outside zone reps, this is a different one. You know, you're still seeing him get out there and this is Melvin Gordon's fumble. Unfortunately, this one hurt to see. So he's going to have a 4-tech over top of Moses, and he's got to overtake that outside shoulder. As Moses comes off into the second level to pop him, you know, if this linebacker didn't make such a play on the ball, they'd have a nice little gap here where he's going to kind of come around Linderbaum, and there's Cleveland, you know, clearing that space. Linebacker on Moses here, probably making a bit of a play, but if Gordon can cut outside without this guy here, you know, they created a nice little hole. So again, nice little play in space. Here he's going to overtake. This is one of my favorite reps. He's got to get to the 0-tech because Linderbaum wants to work this way. Cleveland's got to try and get there. So you see right there, or sorry, that's McCurry. So he gets outside. You see that he's got to work that helmet as best as he can to the outside. Now reaching a 0-tech to his outside shoulder from the right guard position, from the backside, that's an athletic block. You got to be, you know, pretty quick. And see, he doesn't quite get there, but he's doing a damn good job of working his way there and moving him down the field. But it's not a mauler's block. This is more of a finesse block, right? He's going to start hitting him here, and he's going to go kind of back about 4 yards to try and create a leverage point, create a cutback point. So just reps like these, I thought he was doing pretty darn good. I'm going to show you 3 reps right now where it's more of downhill, down blocks, stuff you would have saw a lot more in Greg Roman's scheme, not zone. So here you're going to get the 2 pullers. This is actually going to be their counter. So Cleveland's got to just drive this guy, and, you know, he gets him there, he creates space, but he's not moving him, right? He's not creating that physical drive that we want to see out of him. We'd like to see him line him up right here, create leverage, and then start to drive him that way, because the running back's coming back the other way, right? So he wants to, you know, take this guy that way. But he just usually stands up and just kind of moves them to create leverage rather than trying to drive block. I'm going to get another one here. So again, he's going to down block 97 over on the zero tech, and a little bit better there, but this is something I've noticed. So as he starts to drive him, so he drives him there, absolute credit there, but he creates these exit points where he loses leverage because he's too high. He's not able to bend, and there he is getting inside trying to make a play on the running back. You're going to see it again right here. See how he's not necessarily driving him, and now the player is able to kind of escape laterally out of his block. And there's Cleveland kind of losing it. So that's something I'd really like to see him improve. I think he showed some very significant positives, especially as a pass protector. But I think in the run blocking game, I think we're kind of seeing the type of player he can be. I think he's going to be the best fit if you want a guy that can be a pass protector and a zone blocker, which is ironically enough, and we'll get to the verdict here in a minute, what I think Todd Monken wants. He wants to go into 5-man protections. He wants to run zone scheme. So a lot of the things that Todd Monken wants in a guard is actually things that I think Ben Cleveland is doing well at. So the question is, can Ben Cleveland start in the future? I think he can get there. I think he'll be a John Simpson level player where he's starting caliber, but he's not necessarily, you know, a high-end player. He's not going to be a Pro Bowler, but that's okay. You don't need 5 studs on the offensive line. What you need is for your weakest link, which is John Simpson this year, to be league average and, you know, not be a liability. And Simpson has done that this year. So I think if the Ravens can get, you know, someone in there at right tackle, if Morgan Moses is going to be gone, and it's kind of Linderbaum, Ben Cleveland, and that other offensive tackle, I think your right side of your O-line is looking okay to do what Todd Monken wants to do. The real concern I would have is, you know, left guard is going to continue to be the hole. You got Kevin Zeitler. You know what Kevin Zeitler can do. Do you just bring back Zeitler? And can we get Ben Cleveland doing this at the left guard position? It seems like he's a better right guard than left guard. How can you kind of make those pieces work? Because Ben didn't even get a shot at left guard in the preseason this year. It was basically between, it was John Simpson and Salo that were basically competing for it. But let's be real, it was a one-man show. So that's kind of my thoughts on it. That's where I kind of landed after seeing 2 games of him. You know, his PFF grade was really high. I don't think I thought that highly of his play. No offense to him. But I also didn't think he was bad by any means. So it's not necessarily a negative opinion. It's just, you know, I think he can be a league average starting caliber offensive lineman, which is okay in this league, especially for a 3rd round pick. So I'd love to hear from you guys. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Hit like on this button, or hit like on this video if you enjoyed it. And of course, subscribe if you're new here. Be good to yourselves, be good to each other. Peace out, everyone.